Now, you don't have this slide in your lecture book, but I thought it would be a nice way for us to talk about uh, how markets adjust to a shock, how they get back to this long-run equilibrium. So almost nobody had heard about fidget spinners prior to the start of 2017, but in 2017 they became this big fad that people wanted to start to play with. To the extent that in April and May of 2017, almost 20% of the toys that were sold in the United States were fidget spinners, an amazing amount. Okay, so what happened then in this market? Well, at first, we got this big spike in demand as people started to want to buy these fidget spinners. We got a big spike in demand, this slide on the left here. So we've got an average cost curve for fidget spinners, and demand has increased a lot so that existing firms in this market are able to make a large profit on each fidget spinner that gets sold. The price they're going to sell for will be relatively high as they charge a relatively high price to capture those profits. But think about what happens over the coming months. So these fidget spinners aren't difficult to produce. There's nothing in particular that's keeping firms from entering this market. So we anticipate the new firms will start to enter this market competing with the existing firms. As that happens, the demand curve for the existing firm in the market starts to shift in. There's more competition, so at the same price we can sell less than before. And this keeps on going as new firms enter the market until existing firms in the market are no longer able to make a positive economic profit. At that point, there's no more reason for firms to enter this market because they would make just as much profit in this market, in the market for fidget spinners, as they would in some other market. And so then after existing firms get down to zero economic profits, there's no more incentive for firms to enter the market. This is our long-run equilibrium. Now, how long that's going to take to achieve, I don't know. For the fidget spinner market, my recollection of this is that it took maybe somewhere between 3 and 6 months. That by the end of 2017, you could certainly buy fidget spinners for $1 a piece in the discount bin at the grocery store, rather than the $5 or $10 a piece that they were during the middle of that craze. Now we could certainly see another situation, or the similar situation, if we had firms making a loss in a market. So on the left, we've got a market with firms making a loss. See, that demand curve is so low, it never cuts above that average cost curve, never actually touches it, so there's no quantity where we could possibly make zero economic profit. We'd anticipate then that firms start to leave this market. As they leave the market, some of the existing firms will pick up the slack. Some of that demand will shift over to existing firms, and the demand curve for existing firms will keep on rising until, again, it just touches that average cost curve where we are back to having zero profits.